Alright, that's it for Trieste. About to head off on the 9-night cruise on Norwegian Pearl down to Athens. Different port every day, so it's going to be extremely busy, and with all drinks included, it's definitely going to be a big one. First port tomorrow is Ravenna, which is on the western side of Venice. A couple of hours by train, I think. We're in Ravenna. It's known as the city of mosaics. Don't have a huge interest in that, so instead we're catching a train to Bologna, which is about an hour away. And I only know a couple of things about Bologna. It's the home of Bolognese, and there's a couple of old towers in the city centre, and I believe one of them you can climb the 500 stairs to the top, so that's on the agenda. Alright, made our way to the two towers of Bologna. Go back to, I think, the 13th century. So the original plan was to climb all the way to the top of that tower, 500 stairs, and get some footage from up there, but unfortunately it's closed for repairs. Can't understand why. I mean, there's not much of a lean on that tower, is there? Alright, so just been doing some reading. There is reinforcement work, been going on for a while, and it's going to take a hell of a long time, but eventually the main tower will be reopened to be able to climb to the top, so I'll have to come back again for that. To this lunch in a tiny little Italian restaurant in Bologna. Well, this is lasagna bolognese washed down with pepperoni. Doesn't get any better than this. Well, Bologna is definitely a place I want to come back to another time. So many incredible buildings. It's like walking around a medieval town. I've been walking around Bologna, absolutely blown away by the architecture. Everywhere you look, there's just spectacular buildings. Definitely come back here another time and explore it in more detail. Country to tick off the list. This is Slovenia, and the town is Koper. Now it's the first of several ship organised shore excursions today. They're normally bad value, but on this cruise, $50 US off every tour as a part of the package, which is great. And today's tour, I think we're sampling some different foods and seeing the sights of this little town. So the country of Slovenia is only small, 2 million population, and it's a very young country, only 33 years old. It's formerly a part of Yugoslavia. Well, we stopped at a winery, nothing like a glass of wine at 9 AM. But Slovenia is a huge wine producer for its size. It's their #1 industry. Also has the most ideal growing conditions for olives. And one thing I did find out on the way is that they don't tolerate begging in the streets at all. You don't see it. And it's an extremely clean country. Second glass, not even 9:30. Looking good for the day. It's a Slovenian donut filled with apricot jam. In the centre of Kotor is a copy of the Rialto Bridge from Venice. Local liqueur tasting. This is orange cello. Thank you.
Hola.
It's a great diet today. Caramel ice cream. What's yours?
Panna cotta.
Panna cotta. Wow. This is a beret. It's like a cheese pastry. Looks a bit like a pastissi. And here's a Norwegian pearl. She's a bit over 20 years old, but she's in good nick. They keep them updated every few years, and the cabin is terrific, really. A very narrow street through Kotor, which is a 1,500-year-old town, and apparently part of the thinking was that it would make it harder for invaders to conduct their raids. It's another day and another new country. Today we're in Croatia, and the city is Split, which is the second largest in Croatia. Plan for today is another sightseeing and walking tour. You do a lot of walking when you come to Europe, which is all good. Temperature forecast for today is low 20s. Very pleasant. So Marko Marulic was the father of Croatian literature and lived a long life back in that time, 74 years. It's a very beautiful theatre. There's gelato shops everywhere here, and impossible to resist when it looks this good. Oh, Croatia is made up of 5 regions, and the city of Split is in Dalmatia region, and the Dalmatian dog got named after this region, but doesn't actually come from here, so I'm not sure how that all unfolded. So a couple of my travelling buddies, Helen and Claire. So the first of the specialty restaurants we're trying is the Bistro, French restaurant. They've always been terrific on Norwegian. So what I'll do for each of the specialty restaurants is I'll show you the food that I order, and at the end of the video I'll let you know what I thought of them. Well, it's another day in another country. Today's port is Kotor in Montenegro. I know absolutely nothing about this place, except that it's the most spectacular port so far. It's like a quiet little village with a backdrop of huge mountains. It's absolutely spectacular. Just take a look at how spectacular this place is.
Don't look at me. I am considered be a very short person.
Here's the clock tower from 1602. It's actually leaning. I'll see if I can get a shot from the other side to show you. In front of the clock tower is the Pillar of Shame. So back in those times, if you played up, you would get chained to the pillar for a couple of days, and people would come by and throw rotten fruit at you, potatoes. It's a practice that should be reinstated, I think, in Broken Hill. You can see the tower is leaning forward. Alright, 6 things I didn't know about Montenegro until today. It's a tiny country of just 13,800 square kilometres. Population is just 700,000. 85% of the country is covered with mountains, the highest rainfall in Europe. Their main industry is tourism, and they have the second tallest people on the planet. All these beautiful old buildings in the old town aren't really what they appear to be. They look centuries old, but most of them are brand new because of the earthquakes they've had, where they've had to rebuild the old town. 1979 was their most recent, and most of these buildings here are just made to look old with reinforced steel to hold them up for the next one. Very much an Italian influence on the food in Montenegro. Got myself a couple of new friends here. And the reason why the cats are so revered here is they've saved the town from rat plagues a couple of times. The population is all neutered. They've got feeding stations here for them, so they're incredibly well cared for, and it's great to see. Venue for tonight's dinner is the Italian restaurant, Marcina. A spectacular view of the old town of Dubrovnik and the Adriatic Sea. So this is from inside the walls of the old city. Now you can buy a pass to climb up the stairs to the top of the wall surrounding the old town, and it goes right around. So you can see it all from a height, but it's 35 euros to do that, which seems like a bit of a rip-off. You can walk everywhere inside the old town, including up to this vantage point, free of charge. So I really don't see any value in paying the 35 euros to climb up just a little bit higher. No shops and restaurants up there either. Alright, another new country today. We've arrived in Greece, and this is the island of Corfu. Doing a scenic tour of the island. It's not far from the airport where we are now. This plane looks like it's going to land very nearby. Jeez, I didn't realise it was that close. It's a local specialty, kumquat liqueur. So Corfu was the first of 3 Greek islands we visit on this cruise. There's over 1,500 islands in Greece, which is incredible. Leaving Corfu now. It's the fortress at the mouth of the channel. Well, today's port is Santorini. Got in really late, but we're lucky to get in at all because of the strong winds. Anyway, made it up here in time for the sunset. Don't sail out till 10 PM tonight.
But now war,
Come
the
to
shopping,
explore.
and then go to
Three ships in the harbour. Well, today's port is Mykonos, another famous Greek island. It's really busy here today. There's the Explorer of the Seas in port. And the Norwegian Prima, which is one of the new Norwegian ships. It's absolutely massive, and I guess I'll have to go on that one day. Alright, today there's no planned shore tour booked. Mykonos is the most expensive of the Greek islands, and some of the tours here were, you know, a couple of $100 for just a few hours. Didn't see the value in that. So we're just going to have a walk down town and a bit of a sticky boot. Well, I have to say it, I really don't understand some of the signage around here. It's all Greek to me. First time we're trying Greek coffee. Looks like mud. See how it goes. Silk is left at the bottom of the Greek coffee. I'm going to say it's a quite tasty. Tonight's restaurant is Moderno. It's the Brazilian style, where they bring the meat out on the skewers and you just keep eating until you can't take any more. Alright, that's the cruise done and dusted. Got a couple of days in Athens now to explore this city. I'm going to do a summary of the Norwegian Pearl cruise, and I'm going to break it into 5 categories to give it a really thorough review, starting with the ship itself. Norwegian Pearl's a 20-year-old ship, but it's in great condition. The cabins were probably the biggest I've seen for inside cabins, really well organised, terrific shower, which is unusual on an inside cabin. But yeah, the ship itself, I couldn't fault it. It's fantastic, and I think it's due for a big refurb again next year, so that'll be even better. The service levels, the next category, we found all the staff really helpful. They've got a thing, I think, that it's being really well managed, where they're just saying good morning to you all the time, and really went out of their way to offer any assistance. Can't fault them at all. The third category is food. Found the food really good. The specialty restaurants are a step up. I definitely recommend getting a dining package and trying a few of them out. because they are definitely a level up from the free restaurants. Once again, with Norwegian, I found the French Le Bistro to be the best, but the other two were really good as well. Next category is entertainment. I found it a bit hit and miss on this cruise, so quite a few things weren't really to my liking. There was an acrobat show, and they were really good, and I'll include some footage from them after this review. Also, there was a couple of the production shows were quite good. The Legends in Concert, which is a copy of the Las Vegas style production show. And finally, the highlight of the cruise, which was the itinerary. Having a different port every day was great. Even better having never been to any of them before. And my favourite ports were, well, in Ravenna we went to Bologna, and that was fantastic with the towers and the Bolognese lunch. And found Montenegro really interesting as well, and Kotor in Slovenia was terrific. They don't allow beggars on the streets at all. They do look after their people, but I remember one of the comments the tour guide said there, he said if people don't work, they don't get money. Seems like a pretty good system. One port I didn't really take to was Santorini. It's all overhyped, overpriced, and they deliberately leave you after the tour at the top of the mountain so you can stand there and spend money in the shops, and while you're waiting for the chairlift down, which you wait well over an hour for, and it's a total shambles, horribly disorganised. And considering all the money that they make from that place, it's really disappointing to see them running it so poorly. So if I was going to Santorini again, I'd probably just go up to the chairlift early before it gets too crowded, take some photos and have a light lunch, and then head back down. That'd be about it. So overall though, what a fantastic trip. Recommend it to anyone.
Trying to hold